Welcome, everyone. Welcome back to Tuesday Museday. I'm Kalani. Welcome to our 118th episode. Thereabouts. Hope everybody's good. We'll say hello in a minute. We're just going to keep on grooving. Hope you're grooving wherever you are. And yeah, thanks for being here. Here we go. Bougarabou. All right. Welcome back, everybody. How are you guys doing? I hope you enjoyed that. Wow, that was a 15-minute one today. That's pretty long, but I was having fun. Are you guys having fun? We're making music. Hopefully you're joining in at home on something, even if it's in your mind. That's okay. All right. Let's say hello. First of all, welcome. Daisy is here. Bill is here nice and early. Roseanne was with the early birds. I saw you guys because I logged in early. And Charlie is here, and Richard, our buddy, flute buddy, and percussion and composer friend. Dr. is that Roche? Is that how you say that? And that handpan lady, welcome back. It's been a minute since you've been here, so welcome. Nice to see you back. Is this like too loud? Let me know. Sienna is here. Welcome. And did I say Neil? I think I did. Cornelius, as always, appreciate you being here. And you guys go check out Cornelius's music. Cornelius, if you want to drop a link, and this goes for anybody, where do you put your stuff, Cornelius? I think it's Instagram. Is that right? And anybody who has a channel or anything to share, just drop it in there. Mick is here. Welcome. Nice to see you. And James. And wow, we got a nice group today. Jukes Joint is joining. And Urban Dervish, welcome back. It's been a while. And I think we're all caught up. So, yeah, I hope you guys are digging the groove. I decided to do something a little kind of, I don't know, I just felt like something that settles in, something that was moving forward. It has an easy groove, but it also, had the balance of like it's settled, but it's also interesting and kind of exciting. So that's kind of what I was, I don't know, imagining or feeling. And I try, every day, I don't know if you guys knew this, but in case you don't, I always do a complete improv at the beginning. Well, I wouldn't say always. There's a couple times where I've done a tune and I have practiced it a little bit. Leo is here. Welcome, Leo. Is it Guerra? Leo Guerra? Good Guerra, I think. Roche, yes. Okay, I got it. From Washington. All right. Well, welcome. It's nice to see you all here. And I saw you guys talking about the Bougarabou video. And yes, I'm busting out the Bougarabou. And I did tune it up a little bit. And I'm not going to talk about it a lot because I already made a whole video. But this is a Bougarabou. I got it for you guys. So there was a local dude and he had it for sale. And I kind of checked in with him. I'm like, hey, okay. He was selling his drum and he dropped the price by like literally 50%, which was, no, 30%, which was $50. I got it for $100. And that's not bad. This is an African-made drum too. It's not like a, Southeast Asian lathed drum out of like rubber wood, which is what a lot of those are. If they're $200, that's what they are. But this is a nice wood. It's heavy, and I'm excited. I just tuned it up a little, which I don't know how responsive this head is. Let me show you. It's pretty old. This head is old. Like, I think you need carbon dating to actually tell how old this head is. It's kind of honestly, it's a little bit of a dead sound, but it's got this really nice bass tone. It's kind of hard to hear on this mic. You can hear it better. Here, let me switch. Hold on. Here. Yeah. Mics make a difference, don't they? So that's the Bougarabou. And doesn't it blend well with the congas? I really, I feel like it blends right in with the conga drums. So yeah, I shouldn't be buying drums, but I sold 2 drums. I sold a couple djembes that were of the aforementioned design feature, because I don't need so many djembes, you guys. I have 3 nice djembes, and they're all African made. Like as of right now, I've got 3 djembes, and I can only play one at a time. I've literally got 2 in storage, and that's too many in storage. So I'm just trying to, thin the herd, as they say. That's funny because they all have animal skin heads on them. So this, in case you guys didn't know, let me give you a little rundown on the instruments because you might be interested in this. And if you do have any specific questions, go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'm trying to keep one eyeball on the chat and then talk at the same time. I'm not always successful in catching everything that's happening over on the chat. So, but if you see me looking over here, that's where my computer is. So that's what I'm doing. This djembe is an African-made drum, really nice. I think I got this from Drum Skull Drums, and this is also can you hear how hard this wood is? It's like ceramic. It's so hard. It's pretty heavy, and this drum has a cow skin head, like the Bougarabou. The Bougarabou should either be cow or water buffalo, so that's what they put on, these kind of drum like conga drums. Djembes usually have goat skin, but this djembe is a cow skin. So it's just kind of a screamer in both senses of the word in the sound quality. Like it can be like a super high, dry crack if you crank it up. And then also that's the sound you make when you play it because it's hard. It's like playing a linoleum tabletop. So maybe the player is screaming out of pain. I'm not playing it that hard. So those days I feel like are over for me, like wailing on a djembe for 3 hours. I don't really need to do that at this point, but it is a nice sound, and it holds its tune really well. But yeah, this head is like it's got some tension on it, and then of course the conga drums, which I have around, were the main drums in that jam, and then I also of course had the, can we see it from the side? Yeah, the cajon, which is right here, and this is my Kopf cajon, which I really like. It's got a great sound. And then what else did we have? We had a couple of things over here. We have a cowbell. This is just from a drum set. It's like I've had this cowbell forever. And then we have the Hecko Electro. Let me give you the overhead. The Hecko Electro, you guys, I brought back, right? That's this thing. And it has the springs. Right now I have them crossed, so they're a little more muted. And it's plugged into the mixer, right? So that's the Hecko Electro. I could put it on a stand, but honestly, it works. I just kind of set it on the table over here. It's right there. I can pick it up if I want, and I could even play it like a Hecko. That's why it's called a Hecko Electro. Let me see. Let me see if this will work. I think it will. Like. All right, so maybe we'll incorporate that later. And I use the Sistrum. This Sistrum on the jam. This is one of my favorite. This is some Sistrum I got. I don't know where, but I think it's from Africa. I'm pretty sure. And that's a nice sound. I love that sound. It's so I don't know. It's like if iceberg lettuce were a sound, it would be this. It's the iceberg lettuce of shakers. All right, it's just crispy. And then I use 2 flutes in this, and Richard is very familiar with these designs, but let me tell you what they are. So this one is a B minor out of Monkey Pod, and I got this a couple of years ago from Brent Haynes at Solstice Flute School. I love this beautiful flute, and it sounds great, doesn't it? It's just got the voice on this thing is just killer. It's loud, and the B, of course, is just a little bit brighter than the A. It's one note up, but it does make a difference. And then this little guy's an E, also from Brent. And I have a different bird for it, but I put this it's like a little shorty bird. And this is about as small as I can go before my fingers, my middle fingers, my ring finger and index finger here in the middle. Let me show you. They're like touching these 2 fingers right here. So I couldn't really go much smaller than that because my fingers would get jammed up. But that's this flute. It's also a nice flute. But that's an E flute. So they were a fourth apart, B to E, and that's why I was able to kind of do that thing where I was playing both at the same time, and I don't practice that. I was just messing around. Sometimes I like to just throw curveballs at myself. So it's not that I've never done the two flute thing, but I don't have anything worked out like melodically. I suppose you could do that. So that's what was happening with those. And welcome. Who else is here? Wow, some new people are showing up. I want to say hello. So did I say hello to Neil? I forgot. And then Chris and James and Hamster of the Apocalypse. Welcome back. Yes, Tasty Sistrum. Oh, Richard says Brent usually does 5 holes for higher pitches. I didn't know that. So I guess that's a good reason. Yeah, but I do like the 6 hole on the E. I guess if I was going to go up higher than an E, and get into the real high flutes, 5 hole would be a good idea. Okay, I think we're all caught up on the instruments. That's what I was using in the opening. And so, yeah, if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them. And in the meantime, let's do this. Let's do this.
Guess the sound!
Okay, all right. I'm going to make this super easy on you guys, but I need a correct spelling. All right? So the first person that can give me the correct spelling gets the points today, which are how many points? We gotta get a handle on the points thing. So I don't think we should ever exceed 100, because for a while it was out of hand. So this is easy. It's an easy question if you've been paying attention, but I just want to see who can type the correct word the fastest. All right, here we go. All right. That should be easy. Yes, and Cornelius is saying, yeah, millions of points. What is it? I'm going to read your comments while you guys are trying to go back in the text and look up how to spell. Okay. Oh, all right. We got a few. So Juke's joint looks like you are the first one in. Oh, wait, hold on. Not correct spelling though, according to most spellings. Yeah. So it's a technicality, but I did say that earlier, and you know what? Maybe you can split the points with Hamster of the Apocalypse, because Hamster of the Apocalypse got the correct spelling, albeit a split second later. But here's the thing, you guys, and this is a good transition. So you guys can split the points. How about 37 each? All right. Juke's joint and Hamster of the Apocalypse. 37 points each. Congratulations. Moving on. But the reason, so yeah, that was the Bougarabou, right? That was this. But let's just stop and acknowledge that yeah. And Roseanne said, yeah, Hamster of the Apocalypse got it right. Got it first. Well, on my screen, Juke's joint came up first, but it's a Gara and then BOU. So yeah, but it's the right sound. And the thing is, you guys, where this drum is from, Senegal. They originally didn't have the written language, a written language for their native language. It's just oral, right? Auditory. And so then, as you probably know, there were lots of people that were invading all over, and eventually the French basically took a lot of West Africa and controlled it and colonized it and built all kinds of stuff, and then they got kicked out. But one of the things they left there, of course, is the French language. So they had reading and writing in French, And that's why a lot of the West African instruments are spelled the way they are spelled. And that's why we have djembe with a D, for example, because in French, if you just wrote Jembe, it would be like djembe, right? Which is not, and there's different words like in Susu, which is one of the originating people, ethnic groups. Djembe, they don't call it djembe, they call it sambani. There's different names, but the point is that if we're looking at correct spelling, so I kind of set you guys up there. I feel like it wasn't really a fair question, except that there is a common spelling. But the point is that's French. It's a French word, like French language spelling, right? So it's an interpretation. So I think it's fair to say that there could be different spellings and they could be equally valid, because really none of them are completely valid because it's not native to the instrument. Does that make sense? Um, yeah, and Roseanne, who is you're up in Canada, and you're in a French speaking part of Canada, right? And you're saying djembe is spelled with a D because there is no J sound in French. Yeah, I mean there is. Is there? Do they not use J at all, or is it they just wouldn't say ja, right? Like J, like a ja for J. So, and hamster the apocalypse, but les Bougarabou. Yeah. So there are different spellings, and in fact, if you go to the Wikipedia page, you can see that there are actually different. Like you can call it Bougara, I guess, which is one of the terms. That might be for multiple. I'm not sure. Um, okay, Charlie says J, like you described earlier. So more of a J, right? So this is a thing. This is one of the things that we inherit, from history and colonization and the spread, the spread of information is like all these different ways of spelling things and pronouncing them and all that. So yeah, just something to be aware of. So Bougarabou, of course, I'm saying it like a white boy from Oakland, all right, which is what I am, and that's okay. I have an accent. We all have accents based on whatever. So it's just I'm just saying I'm just one person with one interpretation with one view, which is not as valid as somebody closer to the origins. All right, so you guys get 37 points each, and that's it for the lecture history portion of the show today. Um, all right. So we can let's just drop a few suggestions for. All right, I'm going to interrupt myself because I want to read something in case people are listening. You guys, I podcast all the Tuesday Musedays through Patreon, and then they go through Spotify or something, and they become podcasts. So in case anybody's listening, because I know there's so many people that listen to Tuesday Museday as a podcast later, the numbers are staggering. Just that's why I read things and I say it. So in case people are just listening. And Jukes Join is saying, I often write djembe because otherwise my students will say de djembe. Yeah, I know, right? And I want to say I did that too. One of my first books was called All About Djembe, and I wrote Jembe because that is the English spelling of djembe. And Eric Cherry, who used to teach at Chapel Hill, I think North Carolina, he's more of an ethnomusicologist, and he suggested that like let's use English spelling for English speakers because most of us in America are reading and writing in English, and people get confused about this sort of weird spelling from a French interpretation of djembe, which is not even normal for them. It's not even normal for French to do that, right? To put a D with a J after. So it's just a weird spelling to begin with, and then people say djembe, and it just makes us all confused. So all right, I'm just gonna read for a second. What is the thing that Charlie? Charlie wrote something. Oh, being a French. What is it? Acadian? French French Acadian? Okay. I don't know how. Sorry, I don't know how to say that. Is that like a French Canadian? I pronounce Jew as in Jew. Jew. Okay. Hard for me to understand by reading, but I think we get the point. Um, all right, you guys. So for Give Me Five coming up, um, remember we have Bougarabou today. We probably will have it most days because I like this little guy. So if you haven't watched the video, go ahead and you can watch the video on Bougarabou. There's a lot of other people that have videos on Bougarabou. I just added mine because I just got one. I never had one before, so I'm super excited. And then we have djembe here, or sangbani, and we have congas. We have bongos right there. I got to move them to bring them over here. We have some flutes, as usual. And I want to give a plug for a couple events that I have coming up. Also, Flute Aloha is coming up at the end of the month, and Richard was there last year. That's kind of a it's a performance composition coach. It's more of a coaching oriented native flute retreat, and I think of it as a kind of performance symposium where we invite players who are sort of at that breakout level where they're looking at recording or performing or whatever it is. They kind of have taken, they've been playing for a while and they're sort of ready to step up, step out and record or perform. And that's the only people we really invite are kind of people in that mode, because we're not really teaching flute. We're helping people refine their flute playing and their performance and their kind of knowledge of everything that goes into that, whether it's for kind of recording, rehearsal, practicing, or performance. But one of the things we do is we add professional musicians for accompaniment. So no backing tracks, none of that. No, or what we call flute karaoke. We don't do backing track stuff. It's not that. We're all about making music with other people and playing live and digging into like being a musician, right? Which in my opinion is all about listening and being in the moment and playing with other people and off of each other and having that sort of conversation, which is different than, and I'm not valuing like a performance less than what I just described. I'm just saying for a lot of people they haven't had the experience of collaboration with other musicians and really good musicians, and so that's a really valuable thing for a lot of people. And then we video and we audio record everything too, so it's kind of got this dual outcomes. And then in October, I do another retreat here in LA at the same retreat center over here in Encino, and that's called Flute Harvest. Flute Harvest is a native flute retreat, but it's really geared towards, I'd say, entry level and intermediate and novice players. And it's just a really good retreat where we do teach a lot. There's lots of um, learning opportunities and challenges and resources, and it's sort of aimed at improving people's playing in a safe and supportive environment. And it's a lot of fun. I do that. I co-teach with Clint Goss and Vera Shanoff. And then before that, in August, is Solstice Flute School, and that's in Prescott, Arizona. And I teach with a bunch of teachers. Oh, by the way, Flute Aloha is with Suzanne Tang and her husband Gilbert Levy, and we co-teach at Flute Aloha. And then Suzanne and Gilbert are also at Solstice Flute Camp, which is in Prescott, Arizona in August. And you guys can look that up, solsticeflutecamp.org, I think. And that's another amazing, like more of a flute school. And they organize by teachers and levels, and it's just really great. All these things are different, but if you're at all interested in learning how to access the Native American style flute, which I really recommend, regardless of what instruments you're into, it's just such a nice instrument, and the community of people are so nice and supportive, and it's beautiful. I'm really grateful that I plugged into it, and it's like I met Richard through the flute world, and a lot of other amazing people. It's just a really nice community. So if you're looking for community of like super sweet people, super nice people to make music, you could even come to one of those as a musician in general. Like some people like to play drums and percussion more, or they're more into singing, or they play guitar, ukulele, or some other instrument, and they can come play too. So that's in order is Flute Aloha, which is at the end of this month, and then in August Flute Solstice Flute Camp, and then in October Flute Harvest, and that's fluteharvest.com. All right, what am I missing here? And Roseanne's been doing, and Richard said I need a klang ya. Yeah, well, possibly. Those are big. They take up a lot of room. It's Gimme Five time. So yeah, so Rosanna's getting the Gimme Five thing going, which is great. And Real Estate Nanaimo's here. Hello. Is that Janine? I'm assuming that's Janine. Welcome. All right. Anybody else come in? Global Sound. Every time I say that, I have to read 2020, 2022. Is that 2022? Yeah. All right. Yeah, and you guys are getting your Gimme Five things in, which is great. We're still good on time. We've got about 20 minutes. So I don't know if there are any other questions. Let me just try to read some of the comments. Hamster of the Apocalypse, death should include that tasty sistrum. Yeah, why not? There's another thing I want to show you. You know what? I got to put some oil on this thing because have you guys heard that? There's like this little squeak, high pitched squeak sound. You don't really hear it when I'm playing it much, but if I go too slow, then this thing is so rusty and dry. the jingles are kind of squeak on the wire. But yeah, I like that system a lot. Here's another thing though I want to show you. This was a gift from our buddy Butch Norton, and Butch is an amazing drummer, percussionist, composer, collaborator, teacher, artist, and he's really into found sounds and just groove. He's just a good like groove player, but really fun. I encourage you to go check out Butch Norton also because I think you'll just get a lot of ideas. And he's really musical. Just plays grooves mainly, but he's got chops, but he doesn't use them all, which is kind of like where you want to be, right? So this is just I guess Evian bottle, right? Just an Evian bottle with some BBs in it, and then it's got these baby rattle scrunchies. These are just sitting there like on there, but that's kind of it's kind of loud. Let me turn this down a little. So that's the vibe. So maybe you could just say bottle if you want to add that to your Gimme Five. I'll give you a second if you want to modify your Gimme Five list, and then Roseanne will pick somebody, or maybe I'll just add that. You could, Richard, you could hear the squeak, yeah. All right. Yes, and as Roseanne mentioned, yeah, Butch has a YouTube channel, and he was also in the studio. What was it? I want to say at least a couple of years ago, maybe a year and a half. And he brought over a lot of stuff, and it was great. He played some stuff, played some grooves and things, talked about some of the instruments, and it's cool. So check out Butch Norton videos on World Drum Club. He was in here. I've had so many cool people in here, and it's just my little home studio. And hopefully I can get back at that. I'd like to bring in some more teachers, also for masterclass stuff. And I know I haven't been doing as many masterclass things. I am aware there's been a lot going on. So I'm going to get back. All right. Welcome, Janine. Nice to see you. That's Real Estate Nanaimo. More Canada, you guys. What can we do? You know what? I just heard today that I think somebody down in Florida was trying to woo Canadians. And I just heard that Gavin Newsom, our governor here, is like, you know what? I'm not going to have any tariffs. He's like, I'm going to just go direct to these countries, you know. So I'm like, okay. But we love Canadians. You can always come to California. I guess you can go to Florida if you want. I mean, what do they have that we don't have? Warm water, warm ocean water. That's it. Because we both have sun and beaches and palm trees and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, we like Canada. I think there's a lot of people on here up in Canada, right? Quite a few. All right, but we like everybody out here. All are welcome. All right. Are you saying we got the same? You and I have the same trousers? I don't even know what these are, but they're. I don't know what that says. It says something here. Amazon. Don't tell anybody. All right. Are we ready for gimme fives, you guys? Okay. Thank you, Roseanne, for putting that down. So, sistrum, bougarabou, bongos, flute, cajon. Oh, 140 and a swing feel. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, and if we have time for two, we'll do two. All right, so let's put this on while I grab the bongos. I don't know, you guys. Sometimes you're in a weird mood, right? All right. So which mic am I? Sorry, I'm gonna go back to this mic. Sistrum, bougarabou, bongos, flute, cajon. Okay, got it. So we just need these two items. Let me lower this. If I can lower the bongos a little. So what I like to do, I'm trying to do best practice. I try to model what I do, so in case you guys, you can pick up some tips. So one of the things is when you're getting ready to play, make yourself comfortable. Adjust yourself, adjust your seat, the equipment, stands, anything, so that everything's just kind of easy to get to, and you're not like just just don't pull up. Like in this case, I want these bongos a little bit lower, and so I lowered them. Right, I could have not lowered them, and it would have been a little awkward. I mean, they're kind of higher because I usually play them with the congas here, but now because I have this bougarabou here, right, I could lower the bongos, and now I can even access both of them if I want. Okay, and so I already kind of have a swing feel in the looper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase everything, and then I'm going to set a 140 tempo, which is quick. And I think what I'm going to do, because that is, let me see. So it's a 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4 1 2. I think that's okay. Should I do 2 bars or 4 bar phrases though? I think I could do 2. Yeah, I'll just keep it at 2 bar phrases. 2 bars is pretty short, but it's okay. I probably wouldn't play these instruments drastically differently in a 4 bar phrase than in a 2 bar phrase. And that's kind of how I think when I'm looping things. Whether a lot of percussion instruments, you're kind of playing 2 bar phrases or even 1 bar phrase when you do a rhythm. So I don't want to do a long loop if I don't have to, right? But sometimes I might want more variety in the loop rather than just have a 2 bar phrase, because then it can get kind of monotonous. So that's the way I'm thinking. That's why I asked myself that question out loud. But there you go. That's how I think about it. So I might do I'm gonna do the center track as 4 bars, just because I might want to put something there that's got a longer phrase. Okay, and let me see. So we have sistrum and a flute and cajon. Yeah. All right. All right. Here we go. joining today. Nice suggestion. And thanks, Richard, for the super chat. That's awesome. Appreciate that. Feel free to follow Richard's lead, you guys. Some of you, many of you, are patrons at patreon.com/Kalani. Always appreciated. In these modern times where it's really difficult to get paid as a musician, whether you're publishing or whatever, like Spotify, forget it. It's all terrible. So I really appreciate the direct patronage and support from the community. And go to patreon.com/Kalani and become a supporting member of the community if you want. If you'd rather do something else, maybe you can click below on our Teespring site and get some swag, which will result in more swagger. I just invented that. You can copy it, but I want a royalty. Yeah, you can up swagger over at Teespring. We have a World Drum Club, kind of a store over there. Again, every little bit helps, so go check it out. You guys are welcome. Frank Rivera, thanks for showing up today. I hope you guys dug the groove today. Remember Bougarabou. You guys are going to be thinking about that all week, right? I want to hear that you used Bougarabou in a sentence. By the way, hold on. Let me pause this for a second. Because I want you to hear what I'm saying. I'm going to be in our neighbor to the south, Mexico, next week. And I'm coming back Tuesday, but I really highly doubt I'm going to make it back in time for Tuesday Museday. Now, if I'm back, I will be here. But I'm not planning on it only because, I don't know when we're going to get out of there. I'm going to go down there with my brother. And I don't know when I'm going to get out of there. So I'm going to say there's probably not going to be Tuesday Museday next week. But we're not sure, but probably not. All right. So if we're not here, that's why. And if we are here, yay. And you know what, you guys, if I don't make it, and you'll know because they'll be upcoming, right? It'll be upcoming Tuesday Museday countdown. So if you don't see that, it's not happening. Richard's asking diving. No, I wish actually fishing, some fishing and some dentistry. So it's one of those trips. And also, three things, maybe pick up Corvette bumpers because they're getting chromed down there. So who knew? Maybe I'll have all three of those things wrapped up. I'm hoping to catch some yellowtail. But we'll see. I am going diving, though, the first week in May. So there's definitely no Tuesday Museday the first week in May. And maybe the last week of April. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, it's kind of a busy month. So I hope you all can just make some music in this time slot anyway, or just listen to some music that you love, or learn a song or learn a rhythm or hang out on the channel and watch some videos or just do something for yourself, that is musical and enriching and satisfying. All right. That's my hope. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Roseanne, for hosting. And thanks, Richard, for the super chat. And everybody for showing up today. Appreciate you guys. Stay well, stay happy, stay musical. And I'll see you next time. We'll go out on a little vibe.